Hi everyone. So, here at last. I'm Danielle, and on YouTube I'm possibly going to be known as Cardiff Stitcher. I am thinking of changing my mind to something a bit more creative, but don't know yet. Really nervous, really anxious. So, let's get started. So I'm going to do the get to know your needleworker tag, and we'll go from there. So first of all, where do I live? I live in Cardiff, in the UK. Born here, grew up in South Africa, moved back over here in 1998 and been here ever since. What do I do for a living? I work from home with little ones. So I work with children from the age of 6 weeks up to normally when they go to high school. Do I have any children? Yes, I've got one. She's 11. She's a little monkey at times. She's the one that might pop in now and then, especially if she hears me talking. Don't know what more to say. So, do you have any pets? Yes, we've got 2 dogs. Daisy, who's a Bichon Frise, Teddy, who we've been told is a Maltese cross Bichon, so Maltishon. Whether he is or not, we don't know. Daisy's quiet until she sees a cat or hears the word cat, and Teddy likes to chase the pigeons. So if you do hear them bark, I do apologise. What are your other hobbies? I don't really have any other hobbies. With working with the children, I do arts and crafts with them, but that's more their crafts, their hobbies, if you could call it hobbies, their craft. Other than cross stitch, I do the odd bit of gardening when I see plants that I like, but otherwise it's just my cross stitch. What is your favourite movie? I don't really have a favourite movie. If I was to choose one, the one that stands out for me would be Avatar. It was the last movie we went to see before our daughter was born. I was literally about to drop, and I remember being told, whatever you do, don't go into labour in the cinema because we're not helping you. Other than that, I do quite enjoy the Harry Potter movies. But no, I don't watch many movies. Favourite TV show? I've just finished binge watching Manifest. I've binge watched Grey's Anatomy during the lockdown. I do like crime scene programs. NCIS, Criminal Minds. Quite enjoying SWAT at the moment. Yeah, don't really watch much TV, obviously, because having Olivia around, she tends to take over the TV. But when I do watch TV, I do like to watch Floss tube or documentaries other than the criminal. I do like to listen to podcasts as well. Again, criminal podcasts, true crime. Those would be Seeing Red by a pair of British presenters. And other than that, I do enjoy Let's Not Meet, who is an American. And yeah, they can be quite interesting at times. This is weird, talking to myself, staring out in the back garden, where normally there's children running around. But we will carry on and see how we go. I will carry on and see how we go. What is your favourite book? I'm not really a reader because I find it really hard to get into books that I enjoy. I just can't sit still and read long enough to be able to enjoy books. But if there are any good books that you'd recommend, by all means, let me know and I will give them a go. What is your favourite music? I nearly said movies then. What is your favourite music? I like all sorts of music. Depends what mood I'm in, really. I'm not into rap. I don't really like rap. But I like my music from anywhere from the 50s upwards. So on my Spotify playlist, I do have quite a few different songs that I listen to. We recently sold our VW Transporter and downsized to a Kia Carens, which is lovely because I can now play my music through the car. So instead of listening to the radio to the same song over and over again, I can actually listen to what I want to listen to, as long as the daughter's not in the car because she tries to take over. So it all depends on what mood I'm in. What one word best describes you? Probably caring, I think. Because I will bend over backwards and I will help out anybody I can if I can. Like I say to everyone, if I can help you, I will. It's easy as that. And because of my nature of work as well, I just enjoy looking after other people. What do you want to do? Why do you want to do floss tube? It's something that's out of my comfort zone. It's something I wanted to do for ages, but have been too scared and too wary and too anxious to actually do it. So finally bit the bullet. It is now nearly 8:30 on Sunday evening, 4th of July. And I thought, if I don't do it, I'm never going to do it. And I wouldn't mind sharing some of my work with you guys. Whether you enjoy it, don't know. We will soon find out. So, let me know. So, I did find a tag online. It's called the tool time tag. So basically what you have to do is give your top 5 favourite tools that you use for cross stitch. So firstly, my top one would have to, other than the normal material, scissors and needles, my top one would have to be my Samsung tablet, which has got Pattern Keeper on. Ever since Pattern Keeper came out, it has been a game changer. If you don't have an Android tablet, I'd suggest getting a cheaper one or a cheap one to load it on and see how you get on with your PDFs. Because if you're anything like me, you won't want to go back to paper patterns. Although I do know that you can now take a photo or scan the chart and put it into Pattern Keeper and work it that way. I've actually done one before with that. But Dizzy Stitcher, Darren, has actually mentioned that you can get a new app for the iPad. But I can't stand Apple. I could never gel with it, so that I wouldn't even look into that. So if you've got an iPad, perhaps go and have a look. But otherwise, I stick with my Samsung tablet. I've just realised I'm waving my arms around when I'm talking and no one can see them except for my face. I will learn. I am not technology minded. That's the other half that does that. Me, I'm old fashioned pen and paper. other than pattern keeper. My next tool for cross stitch would be my Q-snaps. I did used to use frames, hoops, and then I have tried frames, but I just can't get on with them, and at the moment I'm going through a stage where I quite like my Q-snaps, and I find that they hold the tension really lovely, and they're easy and light to take anywhere and everywhere. But I'm one of these that swaps and changes all the time, so in the next couple of months I might change and go to something else. We never know. My other tool, third tool, would be scissors. My little dinky scissors that I carry in my bag everywhere. I've got, oh, let me see if I can show you. Got this pair here, which I bought from Amazon along with a pin cushion, I think. And then I've got another pair which is the same size, but they're rainbow coloured ones, which my mum bought me a couple of years ago now from Hobbycraft. And I've got a few other small ones. I tend to keep separate scissors in each of the project bags, otherwise I just lose them. The next thing is needle and thread organisers. They're a bit like the Paco ones, but they're from Amazon. Basically, they're about 30 centimetres long, a brown hard foam where you put the sticker in the middle, and then you write either the number or the symbol, and then you can loop your main thread on and then just pull one strand off and thread your needle and stick your needle in the foam. I use that for my animal panorama, which actually I've got with me, so I can actually show you. 2 seconds. Here it is. It's not everyone's to everyone's liking, but because I've got such a big project and I'm constantly swapping. Can you see that? There we go. You can see that. See, so you've got in the middle, you stick it on and you write, I've written the name, the numbers, because I use Pattern Keeper. I just look at the numbers instead of the symbols. And then when you've used the thread that you need, I just stick the needle in there. Although do be careful because they do come through the back very easily. Don't want to be stabbing yourself. But yeah, they're simple to use. And these again are from Amazon. Can't remember how much. I do apologise. And then the other thing I would say is daylight bulbs. In the lounge we've got the main ceiling lights, and then we've got lamps around, and each of them have got daylight bulbs. I need the daylight because if I don't have the daylight I do suffer with headaches, and if I don't have it bright enough where I can see easy, I do find that I end up with a headache. So some days I'll just, if it's dark outside, I'll stick the lamps on and then stitch that way. But in the nights I'll be sitting here in the conservatory sometimes doing my stitching, and the 2 wall lights, which you can't see at the moment, they're daylight bulbs as well. They help. And then when the other half isn't on his PS4 games, I'll sit in there and do stitching in there while watching something, or even just listening, watching Floss Tube in the background, or listening to podcasts or just music. Sometimes just sitting in silence. I have just noticed I am pulling very strange faces. I do apologise. This will get easier as I go along, hopefully. So that's getting to know your needle worker and tool time tag. So I'll put that away. Notebook. Where Whether I use it all the time, I don't know. Right, shall we get on with my current whips? So at the moment, I am working on, I don't have the picture for this, because when I downloaded it from Etsy, it came as a zip file. And thank goodness the other half is a tech geek, because he managed to unzip it all for me and convert it into being able to use for Pattern Keeper. So I'll just take it off the Q snap just to show you the whole main project. I do have a whiteboard, and that is the one thing that I forgot. So I do apologise. Let's see if I've got something else here I can use. And zip. And out you come. So here we go. And ready. Ta-da! So Olivia used to go to a Welsh school, and she really struggled with her, and we weren't sure whether she just had learning delays and whether to change from Welsh to English. But we changed to an English school, and there's this one teacher that has been with her since she went halfway through year 4 to an English school, and this wonderful teacher, teaching assistant, although she might as well be a teacher because they do very much the same, has been with her since year 4. So year 4, year 5, and she's now in year 6, coming to the end of year 6. So she'll be going up to high school. So I really wanted to make something for this teacher to let her know how much she's appreciated, because I do appreciate how much work they do. Being in the childcare sector, I know how much there is to be done. So I scoured the internet for weeks and weeks, couldn't find anything. And then I happened to chance to come across this. An amazing teacher is hard to forget and impossible to find, I think it is. No, it's hard to find and impossible to forget. An amazing teacher is hard to find and impossible to forget. And I thought that is absolutely amazing, because I don't know about Olivia, but I will never forget how much work she's put into Olivia. When Olivia went to the new school, even though she was in year 4 level, she had the reading age of a reception child. She could hardly read. She couldn't read, basically. And she could hardly write, and her maths was next to non-existent. And within the first term of being there, she progressed so much. It was just wonderful to see. And she is now almost like a normal child. She has got a few learning difficulties which are a bit of a struggle now and then. She had hearing issues where she had to have a hearing aid, so that took a hit as well, and she's got a few speech problems, but nothing that hampers her as such. So anyway, she went to this new school, and they worked with her really well, and they've got her to where she sort of needs to be almost ready for high school. Because of lockdown, things have slowed, but she's getting there. So I wanted to stitch this for the teacher. So the Anne and teacher are stitched using anchor 1335. Now, local Hobbycraft, which is the local needle shop, no longer sells anchor. And by the time I bought, say, 3 skeins off of a website, I paid £3 for each skein, and then the posting packaging was going to be £5 all in all, and I just thought I can't really afford that at the moment. Might only be £5, but £5 is £5. So I thought, let's go with other different variegated threads, which I will tell you about in a minute. So that is Anchor. The Amazing is done in DMC 956, and then the heart with is in the middle is in another DMC, but I've gone and lost the label. That just says everything about me, unorganised. But I know the teacher's favourite colour are pink, or the favourite colour is pink. And then the dots here are in DMC 4215. There it is there. And then hard to and then find is in DMC 4507. That's that. The photos I've shown on Instagram don't do the picture justice. So that is that. I'm going to carry on with that and hopefully finish that this week, and I'm hoping to make it into a wall hanging. I work from 8 in the morning till Mondays is 5:30, Tuesdays is 7:45, Wednesdays is something like 7:30. So they're pretty long days, but I'm going to get as much stitching as I can. I am off on Friday, so I plan to stitch on this all day Friday to get it finished and make it into a wall hanging, because they finish school for the summer holidays on the 16th of July, if I remember correctly, and I want it done by then. I was hoping to make one out of Scrabble tiles for the whole school, but I don't think I'm going to have time for that. We'll see. So that is my main current project at the moment. Let's just put this down here. See, unorganised, completely and utterly unorganised. My other main project at the moment, although I have lost my my stitchy bug for this one at the moment because of all the confetti. Oh, there's the other scissors, rainbow ones from Hobbycraft, about £5 I think. Put it there. The other one is Animal Panorama Mix, charted by Paine Free Crafts, and I can tell you who the artwork is now. Artwork is by Adrian Chesterman. So let's see if you can see the whole picture. There's the whole picture. Now I'm stitching this because living in South Africa, I absolutely miss South Africa. I would love to go back. If there was only one place I could go back to forever or ever again, it would be South Africa. Totally miss it. Love it. So I'm stitching that, and I think I'm stitching it on either 14 or 16 count Aida, and I have done a bit more, but it's there and it's very confetti heavy, so I'll just show you this piece for now, the koala bit. I didn't notice, but down here I've actually stitched a bird, which I didn't know until I took it off the Q-snap to have a look at my progress. And I was like, oh, there's a bird there. Let me undo this for you. Oh dear. These things are brilliant, these magnetic things, but they don't have to stick together at times. So, can you see that? Don't know if you can, because obviously being this side. Let me just pop the needle by there. It will get better. There we go. You can see that, can't you? Yeah, you can see the zebra. I was going to work colour by colour, but it is absolutely huge. And that's not even the end of it. And then it goes all the way up there. There we go, there's the bottom. So bring it back there. See? Still got loads, excuse the coffee stain. God knows how that happened. Probably Teddy jumping up and knocking my table with a coffee on it. One and only time I drank coffee. So there's that. And I started that, believe it or not, on the 24th of October 2019. The other half had bought it for me years before Pattern Keeper was even released. And then I came across Pattern Keeper and I put it in Pattern Keeper. But it was when Pattern Keeper was in its very early days. And for some reason, whenever I marked off a section that I stitched and I moved the chart, it wouldn't, the symbols wouldn't move with it, if that makes sense. I don't know if anybody else has had that. So it ended up being 3 stitches out, but it wasn't 3 stitches where I could just carry on and just make do. It was 3 stitches of quite a few different colours, so I put it aside, and then Pattern Keeper fixed the issue, thank goodness. And I've just had to frog it as and when I go along, but it's so confetti heavy. I've just put it down, pick it up, put it down, pick it up. I was part of a challenge on Paine Free Crafts where you stitch 100 stitches a day, but because of the hours I work, and it can be exhausting with the little ones, I wasn't able to do the 100 stitches a day. But I'm hoping now that I've got the rhythm back with work, I can start stitching on it once I finish the teacher piece. So I'm going to start aiming to do that, 100 stitches every day, fingers crossed. So stitch count is 900 wide by 324, and I'm using mainly DMC floss, but I have started using Floss by Cross and Crafts, or Crafts and Cross, something like that. I'll put them down later. So that's that one. I can't remember, I bought the teacher chart from Etsy. I can't remember the name of Etsy, but I'll put that down below as well, if I'm able to do so. And that is stitched on Ida, I don't know how you say it. And I think it might be 14 count, 14 or 16 count, I'm not sure. I don't keep track like that. So, but hopefully, once I finish the teacher project and then I start back on with the animal panorama piece, I'm then going to hopefully try and take part in Jolly July or Christmas in July. In which case, I will be stitching on, and that just fell, stitching on a piece from Charting Creations. Oh, I don't know if you're going to see this in the box. I've taped it to the thread box. There it is. Santa holding presents. When this was released, I just saw it and I was like, oh, I really, really need that. Really, really want it. He's the perfect Santa. But I couldn't afford it. It wasn't expensive being a PDF, but at that time I just wasn't able to afford it. I can't remember when I bought it. Back last year, I think it was. But being in lockdown as well, my work had dried up. And I had one child for the entire lockdown. But someone very kindly sent me this as a RAK, Random Act of Kindness. So I kitted it up straight away. And thankfully I had all the floss for it, amazingly. And I'm stitching it on, I think it is 16 count Ada white with easy grid. That's how much I've got done so far. Can't tell you the percentage because, well, that would be too organised, and I'm not organised at all. So it's full cross. I'm using DMC threads called for colours, and I quite enjoyed that, so I'm looking forward to getting back to that. So that's that piece for Jolly July. For the jolly old man. Can you believe it? Halfway through July already. It's crazy, isn't it? And then the other piece I'm going to work on is a Joan Elliott chart, and it is an advent calendar. I've been doing this for several years now. It was supposed to be for Olivia when she was really, really little, but time flies and life gets in the way. So, oh great, oh there it is. For a minute then I didn't think I had the actual piece with me, but I do. So let's try this again, shall we? This is stitched on 16 count. No, sorry. Stitched on 14 count as called for in the instructions. And I am pretty much done with it. There's, oh, how can I do this now? There's the fabulous old man, Santa himself. I just absolutely love Joan Elliott's charts. I love the colours she uses, they're so cheerful and bright. Can you see that? Please tell me you can see that. See, there we go. And all the cheeky reindeers. If you can see me behind, I do apologise. Don't know what I'm apologising for. I've never apologised so much in all my life. But there we go. That's what happens when nerves get the better of you. And I'm also almost finished with the numbers. What I should have done really was stitch them randomly, but I didn't think of that until now. See, and each of them have got little beads in the middle. Can you see that? I don't want to make you guys dizzy. And that's, what's that, 1, 2, 12. And then, please, that's upside down, typical. 13 all the way through to 24. And then a little one there. So I contacted Lancashire Stitcher, Lynn, and she's not long started up her own business where she finishes things off for people, and I'm absolutely rubbish at sewing. So I've asked her if she wouldn't mind finishing up for me, and she said yeah, absolutely no problem. I've given her the ideas of how I'd like it finished. I just need to finish the stitching part now and get it sent over to her. But I'm hoping, because there's not much left on this, there really isn't. I just need to go through the chart and make sure I've covered all. What's the saying? Dot the I's and cross the T's. It looks as though I've done all the black back stitch. It looks like it's just the gold thread, and that's probably why I put it down, because gold, it makes the piece pop. It looks lovely, but gold thread is a nightmare. And then I just need to, I was useless at the time doing French knots, and I probably still am. So all I'm going to do is add black beads, seed beads for the eyes, for the reindeer, Santa. There might be a few other beads I need to add as well, but I'll go through the chart and I'll check that out. And then that will finally be finished after 8 years. 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, after about 8 years. But there we go. There we go. So that's those two for Jolly July. And then the last one I wouldn't mind doing, a couple of years ago, I did some ornaments for Olivia's teachers in school. Now these were taken from the the World of Cross Stitcher magazine. The World of Cross Stitcher magazine. There's a bit there you can see, and then there's the other page there. So I did those. I quite like the bell. And then when I done it for her teacher, I did the Christmas tree, and we glued some pom-poms to it to give it a bit more of a 3D. And I also found a chart online of a rocking horse. Don't ask me where, I can't remember. But it was your typical Christmas rocking horse ornament. So I stitched that up, and I'm just going to stitch them on some plastic canvas. Cut it out, back it, and then hang it for the Christmas tree. So those are my Christmas plans in July. And then my animal panorama. So that's it from me. Don't think there's anything else. But yeah, thank you ever so much for everyone who commented on my post on Dizzy Stitches a Facebook page, group even. Tongue-tied, easily tongue-tied me. And I hope you've enjoyed what I've spoken about, what I've showed you. Any helpful tips, could you post them down below? And depending how this floss tube goes, and if people want me to, I might just decide to do another one in a couple of weeks. Probably once the school's out. We'll see. It depends how well received this is. So until then, thank you very much, and I shall speak to you soon. Take care now, bye.